Oh man, you guys see this right here? Tell you, man, sometimes you gotta MacGyver shit. So I was about 6 miles away from home. I took the army truck out for a good drive. Probably did like a total of 15 miles. About 6 miles outside of where I live, the injector line in the far back popped off, but I didn't know what it was at first. So I'm driving along, and next thing you know, the cab of the truck is filled with this white smoke. Oh man, I had white smoke in the cab, white smoke behind me. The first thing I thought, fucking, the engine blew, or the transmission blew, differential, brakes. I mean, I go straight to the worst case scenario. So I pull over, in the first parking lot I found was a U-Haul. Pop the truck, leave the truck running. You never shut it off until you figure out what the fuck it is. And even then you probably don't shut it off. So with the truck running, I get under the hood, and all I see as I get out of the driver's side door is this big ass puddle pouring down from the engine bay area. I'm like, fuck. I pop the hood and I see the injector line is off the injector, and it's pissing fuel like everywhere. So I'm like, fuck, right? So there's no zip tie, no clamp on it, of course, right? So I get the thing on, and I'm like, this hose ain't gonna stay. So I'm digging through the truck. I got no zip ties. I got no clamps behind the seat. Nothing under the seat. Nothing in the glove box. What the fuck, man? So what I have is, as you could see, is a fuse puller, right? And they get really tight. So I opened the fuse puller as tight as much as I could. Got it over the fuel line and pinched it down on top of it. And it held all the way back home. So obviously I'm going to take that off and put a zip tie on it, because that's what's on these is zip ties and stuff, because it's really hard to get in there with a clamp. But it was like, god damn, man, like that was the last thing I was expecting was going to happen. Thank God I was able to see the nipple that it goes on, because it was like fucking a rush for time and stuff. And put that on, got it to stop leaking, moved the truck, wiped up their driveway. And, now we're here. So I'm going to put a zip tie on that. But when I started the truck originally, I had some wicked belt squealing and shit. And it was squealing too when, that was the first thing. The belt started squealing like a motherfucker when I started seeing smoke. So I knew something wasn't right. And another thing I see here that looks really good is that my alternator belt is off the truck as well. So I'm missing a belt on that alternator. I saw that from back there, so that's never a good thing either. So this looks like this truck's got to get a couple things done on it. I heard a squealing this morning, and I guess that's what the squealing was. And I got a Gen 2 light on, which usually means that the generator 2, which is that one, wasn't charging. But sometimes I know that light's a little funky, and I guess apparently the light wasn't funky at all. The belt's missing. So so looks like I got some things to do on this truck, more than just a couple things to do on this truck. Holy shit, man. Well, hey, you know what, the best thing I gotta look at is I made it home so I can work on it, and that's the best thing. That's the current update on our 86 K30 military truck. So I'm gonna fix that injector line, figure out what size belts these things take in the front, and go from there. I got hubs to do. The front hubs don't lock right. I got something weird, funky going on with the front of the truck too. When I come to a stop, it might be that the brakes are just so soaked in the oil, engine oil. It's so sprayed with the diesel fuel, because it feels like they're braking kind of strange. I hit the brakes and it kind of has like a weird feeling to it, kind of like it's like stopping but not stopping type of shit. It's hard to explain. It's not a comfortable feeling. It's just got a really weird feeling coming out of the front end. So I'm going to check all the components, make sure everything's tight, that I'm not missing something else. But I wonder if that injector line was the issue why I had trouble starting this morning, because I had a lot of trouble to get this thing fired up. I couldn't figure out why. And that might have been it. It might have been just leaking enough, getting air in the system, and then it wouldn't fire. I ended up plugging it in for an hour and a half, and then putting a jump box on it, and I was able to get it to start. So that was good. Yeah, man. That's great. Cool. All right. I don't know why it's getting hot all of a sudden. It's fucking November.